you know, the door is closing. You don't know what's gonna happen next because you're not having the year you set out to have. So it was tough. And then when we lost in the Final Four to Keto and my son Mac. You a bum. I'm gonna say this on camera because you beat me in the Final Four to go lose in the chip, and you had Donut, I think. So we gonna leave that.
Crazy.
We gonna leave that there.
That's court before the court
You know
started.
what I'm saying?
Right?
Cause like,
nah.
if I would have won, if I would have beat you, bro, I'd have definitely went to the tournament. You feel me? But it's cool. It's cool. You got that. But yeah, nah, fun times. So fun times.
Yo, AD, we gon' fuck this shit up.
And we're back here, Sway reporting live, one-on-one sit-downs, back with another one. Thank you guys for tuning into this one and my last one featuring Aura. And like I say after every episode and before every new episode, every one of my guests are special. And we got a special guest here today. I'm going to let him introduce himself. He is the one and only. Sometimes he is a ghost in the streets of basketball, but here we are.
Yo, what up? It's your boy Bryce Jones, a.k.a. B Magic.
Yes, sir. B Magic is here. So, first and foremost, thank you for coming on my platform.
You're right.
It's an honor. I met you last year at Gersh Park in one of the littest games of the summer for them, and definitely street basketball in general. SOG versus Sean Bell, and as you know, young guys do, they go at the old heads because you know there's a level of respect, but it's like it's my time now.
All right.
That day you left the impact on me as a basketball fan. You're a lefty. Got the handle, you could shoot, not afraid to go up with the trees.
Yeah.
Just talk about, I remember I interviewed you and your mother was part of the interview. And of course your brothers kept in real quick and kept out. But just talk about, you told me, I remember you said it was one of the first times like playing in front of your mother in that type of setting.
Yeah.
Talk about how much that meant to you and just that aura you played in that day, if you can remember.
For one, I just came back from training in Cali. I was out in Cali working real hard. Then I came home, and I always want to, you know, like touch surface, like when I come home. Gersh is one of my favorite tournaments, like since I've been playing street ball. And that's how I became a pro, like from street ball. I didn't go straight out of college. I went pro from playing like street ball. So when I came back, you know, you hear all the talking and everything when you going, and you know, I told Rod, like when I come home, I want to play. And it was a big game.
Definitely.
And it was a real physical game, low-scoring game. But, you know, the real ones going to figure out ways on how to, you know, prevail over anybody that's in front of them. As for playing in front of my mother, she don't get to see me play often.
Not even in high school?
In high school, yeah, because I was here.
Okay.
But as, like, after I left high school, I've been traveling, like, just ever since. And, like, she never, like, really had a chance to, like, really see me play.
See your game develop.
You know? Yeah, so, like, whenever I'm home, that's her chance to see, you know, her baby play. So, like, every time I come home, I am always going to play. Because my moms, my grandmother, my friends, like, they get to see me play in person. So, like, you know, it's always an honor to play in front of my moms. And, you know, you got to put on the show when you play in front of your mother. You don't want to let her down.
Facts.
So, you know, that environment, have her, you know, in that environment, hostility crowd, you know, just showing her what I could do in those moments, it's always going to mean something special to me. So, like, I always just go out there and do the best that I can and have fun.
So, you're the player that you are now. You're the celebrity that we all know, right? Your name holds weight in the streets.
Yeah.
But before your name holds weight, you got to put the groundwork in.
Right.
Talk about the groundwork that you put in starting at Boys and Girls High School, where I like to say this for every time I talk to a baller on the side or on the camera. High school is where you start to get your game right.
Right.
You elevate when you get past that point, but high school is where you start to define, okay, I'm definitely good at this, so I'm going to get to this all the time.
Yeah.
What was that grind like at, if I'm correct, you went to Boys and Girls?
Yes, I did.
What was that time like freshman year? How did you get on the team? Try to give me that timeline of how B. Jones started to get his feet wet.
Gotcha. Well, a lot of people don't even know this. When I first got into high school, I didn't go to Boys and Girls at first.
Okay, talk to me.
I went to a school called, I think, Freedom Academy, if I'm not mistaken.
In Brooklyn?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was over there by, like, Farragut.
Okay.
They didn't even have a basketball team. So when I found that out, I told my moms, I'm like, yo, they don't even have a team. Like, what am I doing here? And she was like, all right, we gonna figure something out. So I had to stay home for like 2 weeks. I didn't go to school for like 2 weeks. First time ever in life, I was hyped, like not going to school or whatever.
Spring break before spring break.
Yeah, so cause I had to like miss out. I had to miss like a certain amount of days so I could transfer. So I did that. You know what I mean? And then at the time we was looking for schools for me to go to or whatever. Went to the transferring board. And the worst school that was up there was actually Boys and Girls. And my mother and father went to Boys and Girls. So like when the name came up, my mother was scared to death because at that time like Boys and Girls was like, you know, not so good academically, but they were the best basketball-wise. You know what I mean? And that's the only thing I saw. You know, like I was just basketball. Like I want to be with the best. So you know, it came down to that. It was my zone school, so I automatically got accepted. And my mom's was scared. You know, she was scared for me, like having me go there, be around, like, you know, different type of kids, you know, the streets and everything. Like, she just wanted the best for me. So she didn't see, you know, she wasn't seeing what I was seeing at the time. You know, so she believed in me. I told her I was going to be fine. Like, she taught me everything that I needed to know on how, like, you know, like, just stay on track on what I'm there for and don't get caught up with, like, all the other nonsense or whatever. So I went there and I did that. I met a good core group of guys through basketball that are still my friends to this day. I went to the high. I played JV both years. I played JV, didn't play. I played varsity my junior year, didn't play my junior year like at all.
Not to cut you, but what's that like when you feel like you're? I guess it's a two-part question. At that point, when you starting to get to the varsity, did you feel like your skill was good enough to play? And if you felt that way, why didn't you think that they let you play at that point?
Honestly, I think it was the physical part of the game. I was a late bloomer, and I was like growing up as a kid. Like I probably didn't hit puberty till like 16, 17. Honestly, I was a late bloomer. I was like 5'2", 5'3", real small, like just long arm, long legs. I was slow. Just the physical part wasn't there. Mentally though, I was there. Like I always felt like I could compete with anybody. I always trusted myself. I was good like since a kid. Everybody just grew and I didn't. You know what I mean? Like I just missed that at that time or whatever. But what kept me going was like just having that competitive fire. Like just being from the start and playing in my park every day. Like I just knew what I wanted. It was like I don't know. Like for me, I just feel like you always got this voice in your head that just speak to you all the time, whether you listening or not. And I always just had a vision, just like every day. Like I wanted to go D1. Like I loved Michael Jordan as a kid. I wanted to go to North Carolina. Like I saw myself going to North Carolina all the time, no matter like what was going on in my life. Yeah, so I was going through like, you know, fighting puberty and shit like that. You know, not playing was real frustrating. Like knowing that you probably could like help or do something, like contribute in some type of way. But the only thing that really kept me going was really like my vision and just like what I just saw at the end. I wasn't like so much concerned about like I'm not playing. Like was I mad? Yeah, but I stayed with it. I learned from the guys that was like ahead of me. I learned what to do. I learned what not to do. That experience was huge. Like just being there, you know, I'm on the bench. I'm just watching everything, just being observant. Can't do much. Don't have no say so. And at that time, I'm just following. Like I'm just following the guys who are like the top guys in the city.
Yeah, trying to learn from them.
Yeah, like I'm picking up on those kind of habits, like just traveling, everything. So I was getting my feet wet like that, just watching first. Then, you know, going into my senior year, I knew that, you know, it was my last year. The main core guys was leaving, and my best friend it was his senior year. I wanted him to have like a huge year, so I just put in the work. Like that summer was like one of my first summers where like I taught myself how to like work out. Like I just taught myself how to work out.
What year was that, if you remember?
That was when I was like 16. So whatever year that is. What year is that? That's like 2011, 2011, 2012. Yeah. 2012. I learned from Damian Lillard. I was in my man Mikey crib. We was up like late night. I'm just watching Damian Lillard highlights, and he kept doing the same move
over. And
so I'm like, what is this? Like, why does he keep doing the same move? So I type in like Damian Lillard like workouts, real story, and I see him training. This is like his rookie, like going into his rookie year, sophomore year, whatever. and he was training. He was going crazy, bro. Like, he was going crazy. Like, his pre-draft workouts was insane. And I was watching him. I'm like, damn, this how like NBA players work. I gotta step it up. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta really get going. And once I seen that, I was in the park like the next day by myself, doing what I saw. Like taking drills from that, going on YouTube. Now I'm looking up like the top trainers or whatever, seeing what they doing. And I go in the park. I ain't have no cones or nothing. I get some bottles or whatever. Go out there, use bottles.
So how mentally locked in do you have to be to realize that, okay, this is something that I want to do, and this is something that I feel I'm good at? Because everybody has their niche, everybody has their things that they love to do, but sometimes people don't lock into those things to reach their full potential. How did you, like, what made you say, okay, I gotta get to this? I know you said you look up film and these players and stuff, but there's something that always sets a guy off to be like, okay, ain't no more playing around no more.
Right. At a young age, it was I can't really call it at a young age, like on how I was really doing that. You know what I mean? Like, I was always the type of person, like, if I love something, I'm just gonna go all out at it. And like and at that process, I wouldn't even say that like I love basketball so much, because like I said, I was going through a whole bunch of emotions as far as like not playing, you know, going through the up and down scales of like different people's opinions on how you supposed to play. And you know, I was going through that. So like, I didn't know if I really loved the game at first.
That's interesting.
I felt like once I started like training and got consistent with it, I got consistent with the work ethic. I fell in love with that. Like being like, you know, scoring, making 10 in a row, doing shit like that. Like, that always felt good to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, just working out, grinding, just always felt good. Like, just working at something. You know, I got that from my moms. Like, just always seeing my mother work. Like, so I just put that, what I was watching from my mother, and I just put it with basketball. So that's how I finally, like, you know, I grew to love the game. And then, like, that it was just a part of me. Like, just having that vision, just knowing what I want. Like, just, I don't know. I just feel like, you know, our power is our mind as far as, like, how we think. You know, so like, and sometimes you're not subconscious, you're not even thinking. And when I don't think, like, it's just in my mind.
Yeah.
So that's how I just feel like that's just God talking to me, like, yo, you, like, this is what you know, you need to be doing this. Like, get in the gym. You don't need nobody. Like, you could go by yourself. Just go get your own rebound or whatever. So I used to do things like that. I got to listen to myself.
I got a question, not to cut you, but I know you as a person that, I said it off camera, I'm like, sometimes you're a ghost. Sometimes people don't even know what Bryce Jones is, or who he is, or because you just recently got on social media, if I'm correct.
Yes, yeah.
So, because I remember that time where I first met you, couldn't find you nowhere.
Right, yeah.
You know, and I felt like that's something some people don't really talk about, not being easily accessible to the world. What's that like, being only if you got my number?
Right.
If you don't got my number, you're not seeing me or you're not hearing from me unless we just so happen to be in the same place. What's that like, almost detaching yourself from the world?
Right. It started for me when I got out of college. I went to Murray State. We'll probably get into that.
Yeah, definitely gonna get into that.
But yeah, I went to Murray State. As everybody know, you know, that's a good school to go to. I went through some trials and tribulations up there. But long story short, after when I left Murray State, I went to go play in Greece. I had like a tryout to go play in Greece, and I didn't make it. I got cut. So like when I got cut, I came home. I was embarrassed. You know, like when you doing all these good things. You going to school. You D1. Now it's time to go pro.
That first failure don't feel
like, good. And you know, so when you know, I hit a roadblock, and a lot of people who was like so-called like there for me, when I failed, like when I was down at ground zero, a lot of people went away, like a lot. Like nobody was there. Nobody was calling me anymore. Nobody was hitting me up. Nobody was trying to get in the gym with me. Like nobody was like nothing, bro. Like nothing. Like I was home pretty much every day. I didn't come outside for like 2 months. Only people that was around was just my friends, my close friends that I'm with till this day. And I was just in the gym. So that grounded me. Like, you know, sometimes we be at a pedestal, have you up here. Like now, when I hit rock bottom, when real shit is going on, nobody's there. So that taught me that, like, You know, you need people that's for you around you. Not like people just with you just cause of like what you got going on or trying to just build off you or whatever, take from you, anything. Like I learned that years ago, you know what I'm saying, in my own way. So that's how it's easy for me to like to just detach from everybody because I know what it's like. Like I know what it's like not to have. And I think that's what like, you know, what changed me to like who I am today.
Would you say you're comfortable being uncomfortable?
Of course. You know what I mean? Like, and I couldn't have said that years ago, but like now I understand like you gotta be uncomfortable in order to get to where you're trying to go. Cause like doing it comfortably, like you're not gonna get nothing done comfortable.
Everything feels good.
You know what I'm saying?
No
like yeah. So like what are you gonna get out of that? You know what I mean? Like what are you really gonna get out of that? So, you know, when God made me uncomfortable and not seeing like everybody for who they truly were, I just separated myself. You know, I was in isolation. You know what I mean? I was in isolation. And, you know, the people who was there for me, I didn't reach out to nobody, nothing. Didn't contact anybody. Only just I was with my family every day.
Okay.
So whoever hit me, I knew that, like, they was with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, whoever was calling for me, looking for me, I knew they was with me. I wasn't reaching out to anybody. So that's how it was easy for me to, like, I could detach. Like, you know, it's not, I'm going to always be respectful. You know what I mean? I'm always have respect for people who say what's up. Like, if I know you, I know you. I ain't going to act like I don't know nobody.
Word.
But if I know you, I know you. It's a respect thing. But at the end of the day, like, you know, it's a little saying, don't bro me. Like, you're not really my brother. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't do that. Like, I'm hip. Like, I'm well aware. So that's why, you know, I was off the grid for like a year and a half. I ain't want to do social media for like a year. I did it for almost like 2 years. Only reason why I do have a social media now is because of my friends. They told me, you know, I got to brand myself and everything.
Be outside sometimes.
Yeah, so, like, that's the only reason why I really have it. You know what I mean? But that's, and just focusing on me. Like, not trying to be so much caught up into what everybody else got going on. You know what I mean? Like, that's how you could get sidetracked like that, too. Trying to see what this person doing, that person doing. And you doing all that, you still standing in one spot, like just watching other people. And I was just tired of like just fucking looking at other people all day. Like I want to worry about me. You know what I'm saying? Like do what I do, just put the tunnel vision and just get to work.
I like to say sometimes Instagram is almost like a simulation. Not just Instagram, but that's the more popular one that everybody uses. But let's tailor the conversation forward, right? Like you said earlier, you went to Murray State, D1, nationally televised games. What's that like playing in the atmosphere? You went to the NCAA tournament as well.
I didn't.
I didn't?
Yeah, nah.
Oh, okay, then that's my fault for not
doing my research. It's all good.
But what's that like playing in these atmospheres? You're playing against guys that are fighting for the same dream as you. You're playing for guys. You're playing almost not like a jealousy thing, but more so of a competitiveness, even with your teammates. Because technically everybody's fighting for the same thing, and you're a guard. Right.
And I'm from New York City.
And you're from New York City.
It's a whole nother thing.
So talk about that dynamic you had to channel through at Murray State, fighting for your spot, and then also just being a team player, learning your game and developing it even further.
When I first, you know, had the opportunity to go to Murray State, it was definitely a life-changing experience. As we all know, Cameron Payne, he did 2 years and went. I had 2 years left, and I was told I was going to go there to fulfill what he had going, you know, like just pick up the slack that he left off or whatever. Long story short, I get there. The coach had signed to Iowa State, Steve Prohm. He went to Iowa State. So I lost my coach. Jesus. You know what I'm saying? So I did want to transfer. I was thinking like to go somewhere else, but, you know, the coach that stayed, you know, he told me some good words and everything, so I decided to stay, right? I decided to stay. Going D1 was just like especially at like a Murray State, like, you know, it's PGU. Point guards go there to do what they do. You know what I'm saying? That was the vision I definitely had when I went there. I wanted to go there and go off and everything, but things didn't go that way for me, you know? Another humbling experience. Guys, I did feel like jealousy and things like that. It is what it is. Being from New York City, you always gonna have a target on your back.
Every time.
For any of the kids that's out there that's from New York City, wherever you go from here, people always gonna look at you some type of way because you're from New York City. We have just a certain aura and energy about us that like people don't understand, you know, and it's okay. As long as you just continue to be you, you'll be fine. I didn't know that back, when I was in college. I let words and things affect me, honestly, like the jokes and all that stuff. Like, I wasn't mentally strong at Murray so much.
Okay.
But I held my own, though. Like, I was a competitor, though. You know what I mean? Like, motherfuckers knew that, like, you gotta guard Bryce today. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Like, Bryce is coming to practice. Like, I wasn't no slouch. You know what I'm saying? I started both years. I played 30-plus minutes both years. It was a grind. Guards is coming at your neck every day. Everybody trying to get to the league as a guard. Word. So that was just like a
guard heavy everywhere.
A fucking damn near headache every day. Like when somebody else trying to do what you really trying to do, like that shit, it could be stressful, bro. Like, for real. So, like, I was going through that. I was trying to figure my way out, like, not trying to be selfish, and still trying to do me at the same time. Trying to be accepted, no matter what people were saying. Like, everybody, my first year, like, people had like their own cliques.
Yeah.
And shit like that. I was new. I was only like the real new one. It was a championship team already. They just had Cam. They went through a whole blase before I got there. You know what I'm saying? They won everything. Then I get there.
Looking at you as a fresh start.
Right. So, like, now I get there. Stakes is high. They gassing me up, all type of shit. And, we had a winning season, to say the least. Yeah, we lost, I think we lost the first exit of the OVC tournament that first year. Definitely a good learning experience, though. For me, my first year in D1, I just had to learn how to adjust with the emotional roller coaster. You know what I'm saying? I had to adjust with that. Just like trying to have the right approach every day. Not the right, but the same approach. If I'm saying it right.
Murray said, of course, you're away from home. This is the first time you're away from home? Nah, because you went to.
I left at 17. So I went to Believe Prep right after Boys and Girls.
Yeah.
Then I went to junior college.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna get to.
Yeah, I went to junior college. Went to Jones County Junior College in Mississippi. Won a national championship my freshman year. Sophomore year, I finished junior college All-American. Then I went to Murray State. And then, my junior year, I was like 12, was a starter, was solid. Then my senior year was crazy. Like, here's the whole flip side. Like, so going into my senior year, I knew it was my last year, so I'm working hard as I ever worked in my life, shooting thousands of shots a week. Cause I'm trying to get to the league now. Yeah. Like, you know what I'm saying? I only got 1 year left. So I worked my knee into the ground. This when I first got like tendonitis and all that. Right? So, boom. I had a great summer. This was the first. I'm 180 pounds, the biggest I ever been in my life. Like, I was working, bro. So we get back or whatever, and we had a guard. It was me and my man, Jonathan Stark. We used to always have our talks like, yo, we gonna cook niggas. Jonathan Stark is a stud. Like, this dude is nice. And, we had respect boundaries. You know what I mean? Like, he knew he was nice. I knew I was nice, and we was gonna work like that. You know what I mean? But the coach, he basically, like, just put the ball in his hands, and I had to play the 2. As a senior, I never played 2 in my life.
So you know what I mean? So he
took me off the ball and everything. And then my whole mindset had to change. Like, during the season, I had no idea it was gonna go down like that. So I had to adjust on the fly, do what I could, like, just do what I can or whatever. And then like, time is ticking. You a senior, then that start weighing on you. You know what I mean? Like, the door is closing. You don't know what's gonna happen next because you're not having the year you set out to have. So it was tough. And then when we lost in the Final Four to Keto and my son Mac. You a bum. I'm going to say this on camera because you beat me in the Final Four to go lose in the chip. And you had Donut, I think. So we're going to leave that.
Crazy.
We're going to leave that there.
That's court before the court started.
You know what I'm saying? Because,
like,
if I would have beat you, bro, I would have definitely went to the tournament. You feel me? But it's cool. It's cool. You got that. But, yeah, fun times, though. Fun times. We lost Tennessee Martin in the Final Four to OVC. I had another solid year. I think I averaged like 12 again. So Murray State was more of a learning experience for me. Like, on how I felt that, like, I just needed That's why I learned you gotta be like real. You gotta be really mentally tough to like play this game, because you gonna always have people. It's just always gonna be a target in your back, no matter what. People always gonna be jealous. People always gonna everything, bro. Like it's just in nature of sports.
Nature of people.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like if you good at something, somebody gonna envy that or whatever. Like, and you gotta know how to deal with it. And at that time at Murray State, I did not know how to deal with it.
So
like I didn't know how to deal with it at all.
Some of the people that can help you with dealing with that is family. So
Right.
talk about being away from family and how much of a stronghold were they for you as you get your journey? Because I listened to a recent, before he passed, of course, Kobe Bryant. He had a couple monumental interviews, and in the interviews he said, the guy asked Kobe, he goes, when you're in that tunnel vision, when you're doing what you have to do, locking in at some point, like, does your family know that you may not be with them anymore, in term, not by, of course, physical, but more so emotionally, mentally? Like, I might not even talk to you guys, but the love is still there. How did you, how was that dynamic? Because, like you said, you became a ghost, you had to lock into yourself, and sometimes when you lock into yourself to be great, you lose connections with some people. Sometimes that's family, sometimes that's friends. What was that family-wise?
Yeah. Honestly, I'm gonna be completely honest. Like, it was a disconnection because I was grinding and trying to do everything for them. Like, me being away, like, I'm missing out on the growth of my family, if that makes sense. Like, I'm missing out on from 17 to 22. For me, that's 5 years, right? So, like, I'm not seeing my family. I'm only seeing them maybe a week out the summer, because I got to go to summer school and I'm not here that much. Like, I was more close with my friends. I was way more close with my friends and everything. Like, I'm calling them. I'm on the phone with them every day. Like, we checking in with each other, like, more of that every day. You know what I'm saying? Now, my ass got set on fire after college. That's when I knew it was family. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's when it hit me, like, you need family. Because nobody got me through what I went through but my family. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't have my family, I don't know where I would be right now. You know what I'm saying? So I had to flip the script. So I was doing the complete opposite. Like, you know, you thinking just family just gonna always be there, whatever. And they are, because that's who family is. Like, you know, that's what it's supposed to be. But me getting caught up in everything, like, I was just around, you know, friends. Just friends. Too many friends. I had way too many friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, just way too many. And I was just getting caught up in that, you know? And, you know, you don't see it when you actually in it. And sometimes it don't feel like it's the wrong thing. But if I could speak to my younger self, I would have been told myself, like, yo, you need to, you know, call your moms today. Speak to your sister. Check in on your brother. Checking on your grandmas. You know what I'm saying? Like, checking on my people that really, you know, care for me if I don't have anything. You know what I'm saying? So, like, definitely, like, I wasn't so much attached. But don't get me wrong, like, I definitely had my talks and everything with my mother. You know? My mother definitely came to see me play and everything. Like, we definitely still have a relationship. But it wasn't to where it wasn't how it was supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Now, as a professional, it was a complete opposite.
Yeah, so let's get into
professional. Yeah, as a professional, like, yeah, like, I tapped in, like, professionally, you know, you got a lot of time on your hands over there. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if it ain't practice, you probably in the crib, or, you know, you doing whatever you like to do. So, like, for me, the things I like to do, I just like to tap into, you know, who I am as a person. Like, just cold-heartedly. Like, I want to know, you know, who I am, like, who I'm trying to be. And by that, you know, like, I've learned when I was home that first year out, like, I need to be around, like, my family is something that, you know, really is going to help me get to where I got to go. So, like, now when I'm away and things like that, we talk and everything on the phone. Sometimes it get annoying, but, you know, it is what it is. But, like, I have that relationship now to where it's just, like, you know, I know I'm always speaking to the people. Like, if I'm going through something, I know who I could call. Like, I have, you know, my family I could call. I got friends I could call. I got mentors I could call. It's a difference now. Before, when I was younger, I didn't have that. I didn't have nobody to call when I was depressed and emotionally, like, discarded or just, like, spaced out. I ain't had nobody to call, so I'm trying to deal with all that myself. You know what I mean? And that's real hard to do. It's gonna take you a while to get out that hole. You know what I'm saying? Like, by yourself.
Yeah.
Now, when you have a core of friends and family, you know, people like elderly people trying to help you out, you gonna be alright. You know what I'm saying? It takes a village. You know what I'm saying? That shit is true. You need people to help you. You know what I'm saying? I seen some shit the other day talking about like, you know, you a flower. So like, what do you have around you that's like helping you
grow,
blossom? Yeah, groom and blossom. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit is real. So like, that's just where I'm at with it now. But in the past, I was lost. I didn't really know how to like finagle that so much. You know what I'm saying?
So what is, how do I put this? More so guys in sports or sports in general, when like we have to adapt to certain situations at such a young age. Could you just give your input on the system where it's like, to be great, you have to be mature really quick?
Yeah.
Why does that bother you? Or like, because in terms of development of as a person, you kind of got to go through things differently. You lose out on, like we talked about, friends and, you know, sometimes family, but you find that later in life. Is that a process that you would advise to younger guys trying to go through the same route almost like you? Is that something that you would, like, is that something you want guys to go through? Like a part where it just, when you're ready, you're not going to realize you're ready.
Right.
Like,
Right.
talk about that type of sequence where you have to fight that. Or just how do you feel about it, per se?
I would just say, like, it's a never-ending journey. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you want something, when you put something out there in the universe, like, you pray about it, whatever. When it's something, whatever you want, things gonna come at you. You know what I mean? Like, right away. I'm talking about ASAP. Like, and you might not even think it has anything to do with what you asking for or whatever, but, like, a whole bunch of things gonna come at you to see if you really want it. A whole bunch of tests. And it's always gonna be that. Like, testing, like, the test of life is never gonna stop. So, like, if you think that, like, you about to just get a lump sum of money overnight, like,
good,
yeah, and everything gonna be good, like, nah. It's a journey, bro. You gonna have, like, my experiences, probably, like, nobody else probably gonna really go through what I went through. That's just me. You know what I mean? Like, how I would say is just, like, just put one foot in front of the other. You know what I'm saying? Like, just keep going, and whatever you want to do, like, just keep walking, walk by faith. Believe in what you don't see. You know what I'm saying? Because if you see it, I feel like if you see it, if you know something near, like, it's not, like, it's not gonna feel 100. Like, if you just know something, like, if I know I'm about to be a billionaire or something like that, like, what's the fun in that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, now
enjoy
when
the
you,
process.
yeah, like, enjoy it, and enjoy everything, like, the good, the bad, the highs, the lows, like, because you can't, it shapes you for what you're trying to become, all the obstacles and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter what you're going through, it's gonna shape you to what you're trying to become. So, like, you know, when you out here dream chasing and whatnot, like, just push yourself. You know what I'm saying? Push yourself to limits. Like, you gonna come to breaking points. You might cry. You might fight. I don't know. You gonna go through a whole bunch of emotions, but go through that. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't duck no smoke with it, because the game gonna always test you in a million forms. You know what I'm saying? Like, things that like shocking stuff that you're not even gonna believe, but it's for the better. It's for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's for you is for you. Ain't nothing gonna pass you. If it ain't for you, just ain't for you. Whatever, figure something out. And if you love it that much, like, if you love something, you got a passion for something, you gonna go that extra mile for it, no matter what anybody gotta say. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never listened to people. People used to tell, like, coaches used to tell me I wasn't gonna go D1. They used to tell me, yeah, like, they used to look at me like, he's a senior, like, you know, like, he not too slow. I would just be last in suicides, or my whole college, like, not college, high school, I was last in sprints. I was slow. I was all type of stuff. Like, but if I would have listened to all the negative stuff, I'd have just fell right into that. You know what I'm saying? But, like, I knew deep down inside, like, I'm going D1. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Like, I'm going. I'm gonna get there one way or another.
As you did.
And the steps, right? And look at the steps I had to go through. Like, I went through every phase. I played JV, played varsity. I went to prep school. I went JUCO. Then I went D1. It took me five fucking steps to get there, but I did it, cause that's what I knew, what I want, like that's who I want to be. You know what I'm saying? So like people just always think like, oh, I want to go D1. Like they say they want to go D1, so they just think, all right, boom, go Vols, go D1.
It's not that easy. That's
You know what I'm saying? Like everybody like, all right, a lot of people are gifted to do that, right? Everybody probably got the talent for it, but now the work ethic and all that stuff coming to play, attitude coming to play. So now you got to work on those things as well. So like it's all work, bro. All of this is work. Like work, getting up, the discipline of it, consistency of it, and anything that you out here asking for and grinding for, you could definitely receive it if you consistent enough for it. Being persistent, cutting that same wave every day, it's bound to pop for you in due time though, not like a week or a month or even a year.
You gotta wait on that.
Some shit take 2-3 years to pop. I don't mind waiting. See, that's another thing with me. Like, that's why I fell in love with Nipsey Hussle a couple years ago. Like, he taught me, like, I always felt like my life was really like a marathon. Like the turtle and the rabbit.
That's your favorite artist?
Yeah, it grew to be one of my favorite artists. You know what I'm saying? Like, life is really like a marathon, bro. Like, that's how I always seen life before I came into knowing who Nipsey Hussle was. Then when I heard his music, it was just so relatable on how I just live my life. Like, I'm not in the race. I ain't trying to sprint to get to where everybody trying to go. Like, if I see it, I'm going to get there on my own time. And, like, I'm going to get there. I'm going to do what I got to do to get there. It may not be tomorrow. It may not be next year. It could be 6 years from now. But I'm going to get there. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to feel fucking good when I get there. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's just how it is. You got to have patience. You know what I mean? And I learned, like, you know, another word for patience is just long suffering. How long are you willing to suffer to just
powerful.
Receive what you asking for? You gotta suffer to if you want to live that life, you gotta suffer first, and everybody ain't ready to suffer. You know what I mean? People can't handle like suffering and being down before it get good. Everybody can't handle that. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm just thankful that I'm blessed to have the mind that I have. I'm thankful for my moms for ingraining, you know, just like on how I think. And I'm just thankful for like my friends and everything, my family, for like keeping me head on straight, doing what I gotta do to just take care of us. Simple.
So I got this question here. I wanted to tailor it more so with your overseas work, but this can relate to life in general.
Yeah.
What's your best and worst experience on the basketball court? If that took place overseas, I was focusing on that. We could do that, or we could do all of your life.
Okay. For a fact, one of my best accomplishments in basketball was winning a national championship in junior college. My freshman year, like my first year in college, had no idea what the hell was going on. It was a journey, and that was a year that really like brought me closer to God. Cause when I mean to tell you, like that whole year, we had our team captain, my man Johnny Sapardo, Johnny Z. He prayed every day, bro. Every day after practice, to where it was a point where it was like scary. Like, all right, bro, you bugging.
I don't mean
like,
because I'm in those rooms too, bro. Trust me,
like he'd be like, all right, bro, you OD'ing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you doing too much. I'm talking about like having a cross, the Bible, like, yo, come in the car, let me say a quick prayer for you, things like that. And like, I never forget it. Like, he prayed. He was so consistent in prayer every day after practice. We prayed. And then as we got closer to playoffs, he was praying in the playoffs. Like, yo, God, can we please get to national, like, you know, do these things. Yeah. Boom, we got there. Now we there. I'll never forget it, bro. We there. We sitting there. And I'm like, I'm looking. See the big lights. We in the first time, like, in a real, like, big time stadium or whatever. And I'm looking at the competition, and I'm just like, I tap my man. I'm like, yo, Troy, like, yo, you see this shit? Like, these niggas is not that good, bro. We talking like top 25 niggas, top schools, prospects, everything. I'm like, yo, they not that good, bro. Like, we could really come in here and shake this whole shit up. They ain't never seen us. They don't know who we are, nothing. We got the lowest seed. Watch this. Won the first game. We played 5 games in 5 days. championship day, they giving me honey, fucking granola bars. I'm sleep pregame meal. Like, I'm trying to catch a nap. That's how tired I was. Only point guard there, no backup. I played a game with like 4 fouls. Historic shit, bro. Played one game with like 4 fouls with a lot of time left.
And still
Survived the game, won the game. Then, like, when that buzzer went off, bro, this motherfucker, my best friend, he windmilled this shit at the end. Boom, Cinderella story shit. Windmill this shit. And I'm in the back left side of the court. And when the buzzer went off, I'm just like, it just hit me. Like, it just hit me like, yo, we national champs. Like, what the fuck, bro? Like, national champs.
This is
and
us.
I'm just standing there, and the first person to run to me was my son, Johnny. And when he ran to me, we crying, hugging me, then everybody just trampled us. Like, I'm the littlest one on the team.
And you at the bottom.
Everybody's on top of me. I'm like, yo, I can't breathe. Then we get up, like, even in the game, like, one of the things I'll never forget, like, we had a prayer mid-game. Like, right after free throw line or some shit. Like, just went, huddled in and said a quick prayer. Like, that was by far, like, that's how, like, I know God is real. You know what I'm saying? Because to take a team that never been in probably the history of Mississippi, they never won. Like, no team in Mississippi has ever won a national championship, ever. Like, since man was made, like, ever, bro. We got, like, that's, like, history, you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody's ever done that. And the beautiful thing about it, you can only get, like, 3 out-of-state players.
Yeah.
So we had three New York players there, you know what I'm saying? And we went down there and we did something real special. And then the following year, things happened, you know what I'm saying? We separated, like, a lot of the guys separated or whatever. I stayed and just finished out the year as strong as I could. Was still top 10 in the country and everything. Did what I could for the most part. Finished high rankings and all that. Top 3 point guard in the country. Top 25.
Talk about it.
You know what I'm saying? And finished the junior college All-American. Then I had, like, and then going into that, like, with recruitment and everything, I had every conference I ever dreamed of in my life. Like, I had everybody, a lot of people calling my phone to come play for them. And I just thought that Murray State was going to be, like, the best fit for me, honestly.
Okay.
And, you know, it played out how it played out.
So what about your worst experience on a basketball court? That it rings in your head, you just like, damn, either I don't like how I did that, or just something that happened that you're just like, I really didn't like how that planned out.
I got a few of those.
If you want to give 2, I'm here for it.
All right, one, this for my man Ron. One is for my man Ron. Dykeman, high school.
Red carpet.
High school Dykeman basketball, bro. We fresh off the bus coming from prep school. We go play this game. It's a playoff game. Bro, it's crunch time. I go make a move. It's like 2 people coming towards me, bro. I go make a move. Rock one nigga, go, like, behind my back. I split these niggas. I don't know how I got through, but I got through. Wide open layup for the to clutch the game. I don't know if it was my right hand. It probably was my right hand. It don't matter. I smoked that shit, bro.
Sheesh.
Bad. Smoked it. Yeah, lost to Dykeman. I had a chance to get a Dykeman trip. Lost that. Shit, like, another worst experience. I would just say my probably, like, one of my times. I would say when I got cut. When I got cut in Greece. I've never been cut before in my life, like, ever. I played on B teams. I played on C teams.
But you never got
I never been cut. You know what I'm saying? Like, and for me, like, when I got cut, it was just like, you know, I'm sitting there asking the GMs and all that. I'm like, yo, like, why? Like, what I do? Like, what's the reason? And these were his exact words. Just like, you're just not ready. I ain't know how to take that. You know what I'm saying?
How to take that.
Yeah, like, just hearing you not ready. It's not that you're not good enough.
You just not.
Just not ready. Yeah. So when that happened, you know, I didn't know how to, like, really accept that. I had a lot of pride at the time. A lot of my ego was a huge problem. So when he told me, wasn't ready, stripped all that shit. Everything went out the window. I was down to nothing at that point. Like, and then, the worst time just ended up being one of the best times for me, because that's when I had to, like, really remake myself.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I had to remake myself from that. To, like, nobody will ever fix their lips to say, like, you were not ready.
Yeah.
In no way. Like, I
No.
dare coach to tell me that now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't ready. Like,
Facts.
we got to figure something out. Like, I'm going to have to figure it out. You know what I mean? And that was one of the worst times in my life, but pretty much one of the best times in my life, too, because if he ain't tell me that, I'd have definitely been still probably, like, complacent in a way. You know what I'm saying? Like, he set my life on fire with that one, and I just took off from there.
Okay.
You know?
So let's keep it pushing. Let's get into the street ball, because that's where I know you from.
Yeah.
And you play for, I asked you on camera who you was playing for a certain tournament, but I should have knew the answer. But
Right.
Your words were the one and only.
Yes, sir.
The Bell, the program,
Yeah.
Sean Bell.
Yeah.
So how did you get, recruited into the program?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to say give people an insight, because that's y'all got your own thing going on that
They
certain
definitely
people just can't touch.
The streets need the insight on this info right here. They do. It's been a long
But talk
time.
to me. What's it like being a part of that, and how did you get in?
All right, so how I got in, I mean, I knew Rod since, I was young or whatever. You just know Rod for having, he always got the good talent or whatever,
Yeah.
like so-called the nice niggas or whatever. And I used to play with Ron's first. I was a BK Stomper before anything, you know what I mean? Like, Ron's was my guy. Like, that was one of my mentors growing up. He looked after me since I was a kid, had me in every tournament, like give me the freedom to do what I want to do. And that's how I ran into Rod. Rod seen me play or whatever. And, he probably just kept an eye out on me. I ain't never make it known that, like, I want to play, until when I got to college. And I knew that, like, I was about to be done with college. And I was just like, I want to play with the Bell. And here was my reason. So me playing with the Bell, I just felt like the exposure was always going to be a good thing. You get all the lit games. You get, it's just it's different playing with the Bell.
People come
Like,
outside for them.
you get the crowd, all that. Rod, you going to pop his shit. You just playing real legit games. Not saying like the Stompers don't either. You know what I'm saying? But, and for me, on why I changed was because that, like, I love, number one, the name. I wanted to play for, like, it's a purpose behind it for me.
Yeah, it is a purpose
Playing
behind it,
for
sure.
Sean Bell. Rest in peace of Sean Bell.
Facts.
Like, that's a huge honor for me to play in his name. We all know his story and, and whatnot. So, like, that was big for me to play. Like, to just keep his name going, keep his name alive. Like, it's an honor to play for him, to put on the jersey and, go to war for him and his family. So that was like one of the main reasons why I changed. And the second reason was because just the company. My mother always told me, like, you are the company you keep, right? So for me, Rod got the top-notch hoopers in the city.
And you consider
All the way
yourself-
around. You know what I'm saying? Like, all the way around. Like, and one that always stood out to me was Delroy James,
Delroy.
Tu Holloway. Zamora Nixon has been my favorite player since I was 12. One of my good friends, my man Mac, Mike Poole, Cliffy, Ramel Brown, and the names go on and on and on. You had it's like Lance, you get the NBA players they gonna come play with you and everything. So that was huge for me. Like, I wanted to be around that because I'm observant. I want to see how they move. I want to see how they living. And I had the opportunity to see that. And honestly, I couldn't. And I want to live like how they live. You know what I'm saying? Like, me being young like that, they getting money, they overseas, they doing what they got to do. Some got families, some just husbands. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be a part of it. Like, I see myself as a husband. I see myself making money, doing nice things, doing different stuff, and I just seen that with Sean Bell. You know what I mean? And they get money. Tournaments. Winning money. You gonna win some money. You know what I'm saying? So that was huge for me. Now, on the flip side, like with the Stompers, No disrespect to Ron. Like, I love, like, Ron is my god. Like, I love Ron to death.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, his players at the time, I wasn't gonna get that. I wasn't gonna get none of that. Like, talent wise, niggas, they could play with the best of the best. Got game, but it's bigger than basketball to me. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I don't want to just be chilling. That's just not me.
Yeah.
I don't want to be chilling.
You wanna make
I
an
don't want to
impact.
be outside. Yeah, like, I don't just want to be outside cooling all day, all night. You know what I'm saying? Playing video games. I do that still, like, too. Like, I'm not discrediting none of that. You know what I'm saying? I live a life just like everybody else. But, like, just see certain things for myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just didn't want to hang around that. And another thing, I'm going to keep it 100 too, that, like, I wasn't trying to play behind nobody either. You know what I mean? I felt that, like, I could be. Yeah, like, I wasn't trying to play. And I felt like at the time, because I was in college, I was doing my college thing for a while. I wasn't even really playing street ball like that. So, like, when it was time for me to play street ball, you know, the Stompers already had their backcourt or whatever. Like, they already had names that they had. And when I told Ron, I'm like, yo, bro, like, I ain't trying to come here and be sitting behind nobody and all that. And it's just what it was. So, you know, and I just left it at that. Now, I go to the Bell, I was starting. I was starting games. I didn't even think I was going to be starting. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was because I already knew, like, what it was over there. It's just different over there. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I wasn't expecting none of that. But when I got over there, it was love. I was starting. I was playing. And then just once I won some money, it was over. Like, it was just over. Like, once I won some money playing street ball, bro, and I got a taste of that, like, it was over. It was just really nothing to talk about after that. Like, and then now everybody, you know, now you see everybody in the same tournaments. It's like, you know, what the Bell is doing, but it's levels. Niggas ain't winning this shit, man. Niggas ain't winning this shit, bro.
Yeah. So I just want to ask about that that mentality when you just look across the board.
Yeah.
And like you said, niggas ain't winning this shit because UE got the Bell, and we know who the Bell can bring out. The list goes on and on and on. But what I want to ask about that specifically before we move on is the I wouldn't say hate, but more so the talk that comes from it. Because you guys are a hot commodity everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, let's keep this 100. Every time we see Sean Bell, it's like, okay, who they bringing out? Is B. Jones playing today?
Yeah.
They just got Jay Will recently. So it's like you guys have such a power in the streets when it comes to basketball.
Yeah.
Sometimes do you think that it's too much for you guys? Or do you think that it comes with the territory of being that
It's
good?
definitely going to come with the territory once you put that jersey on. You got to know that, like, it just comes with the territory, like, just being the best. Like, when you the best, everybody going to have it out for you. And especially when you got a guy like Raj going to talk shit till he go to sleep, it's going to be a challenge. And the best part about it is, like, I feel like the best part about it for me, you don't have to do much when there's so much talent next to you. You know what I mean? And then we all professionals at the end of the day. So if that man got it going on, let him have it going on. I don't mind coming on here chilling tonight because my teammate getting on. There's beauty in that, you know what I'm saying? We come from playing these long seasons and everything and coming over here, it's a whole nother fucking season. You don't really have to do so much. I mean, Ryan ain't gonna let you, like, slouch or whatever, but you get what I'm saying? Like, it's less is more. Less is more.
So, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
All right. So, let's keep it moving. Your brother, Brent, you guys are, I kind of look at you guys as opposites almost, but at the same time, the same person.
Yeah.
Describe what it's like having a brother. Is he a younger brother or older brother?
Older. Older
brother. So, describe having an older brother. You guys are basically chasing the same dreams. You guys playing the same sport. What's that dynamic like in the household from young to now where it's like, okay, I believe I'm a bucket. You believe you're a bucket.
Yeah.
What are those one-on-ones like? What are those backcourt? What are those backyard game sevens like? What are those like?
Or rip is usually might end, like, look like we about to fight damn near. I don't know. My brother is like, he's one of the reasons why I picked up the basketball. I played football first.
Oh, wow.
I was a football player first. Then I was like, nah, I'm real funny. I'm a funny dude. So I wasn't jacking, like, the smell of the grass so much and the headaches. I wasn't jacking the headaches.
That's
so
very common.
You know, so I was just like, I'm done with this. My pop's like, what you want to do? You want to box? You want to do something else? I'm like, no. So we go to, I'm in front of the yard, and I see my brother, like, he just dribbling this orange ball. Like, he trying to put the shit behind his back. Like, he just trying. And I'm like, yo, what's that? He's like, it's basketball. And I was like, let me see. I bounced dribbling like I was like, I want to do this. Then when I picked it up, we just started practicing. Like, we just started going at it. Then, you know, my grandfather taught me how to shoot and everything. And then just watching my brother. My brother was first, right? So I used to learn through him. Go to his games, go sit down and watch. Just watch him. Go in the park and I watch him. I wasn't old enough to, like, just play right away. You know what I'm saying? He got me about 2 years. So I'll watch him go do everything first, you know? And I thank him for that because sometimes he wasn't scared to go out there and do whatever he had to do. I'm not even knowing what's in his mind, but he don't even know how he's saving me by just going out there. Like, he stepped in that court for, like, if I know my brother can step out there, I can step out there. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's the energy, you know, I had growing up with him. And then he was winning. He always been a winner since we was kids. We was winning a lot of things, like a lot of tournaments as kids growing up. And he was always like the best ones out of his friends. Like, he was always like the best player out of his friends. Then out of my friends, I wanted to be the best one because my brother was the best one. You know what I'm saying? So we was competing in that aspect. Then now, as we start getting older, now here come the who's better, who's going to be taller, who's going to be this, be that. And I never let that, like, try to sip into, like, me and my brother's relationship so much as far as, like, who was going to be better. You know, because, like, now when we in high school, we started going to different high schools. And then it was just different. Like, the one-on-ones and the competitive shit, bro. Like, whenever I play against my brother, it's just like, I got to beat you. Because, number one, you older than me. And, like, you came before me. But it's like, you passed this shit down to me. So and I want to show you, I want to show you that, like, nigga, I'm going to have this a little longer than you because I'm younger type shit, but I just want to show you that, like, nigga, I'm nice too, you know what I'm saying? But I know he nice, but it's just like, nigga, you can't fuck with me though. That's just how I think, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just how we are. So, like, so when we playing and all that, like, I'm going to foul him. I'm going to foul him on purpose. I'm going to hit him. Till, like, we really get to that edge, so, like, where we about to fight. And I love that. I love that because, like, that's my brother at the end of the day. Like, I remember shit when I was home and my first I had to play, like, some little money shit, some little 3-on-3 shit. I had to play against my brother for bread. Sorry.
He don't get realer than that.
Yeah. Like, so, like, it, you know what I mean? Like, it be little shit like that. Like, and then, like, I try to, you know, I talk about him a lot about it now. Like, it should never get in between our off-the-court relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, you my brother at the end of the day. Like, no matter how far I go, I'm going to always take you with me. You know what I'm saying? No matter where you at in your life or whatever, your career, as far as I go, we in this shit together, bro. Like, don't ever get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always try to tell him that. I would never be in competition with my brother. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm doing this for us. At the end of the day, that's how I know how he's trying to do it for us too as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's for the family. This shit ain't about, I tell my family this all the time. Like, this not about me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm doing this shit for y'all. Honestly, you know what I mean? And that's real shit. Like, I'm not doing this shit. This has nothing to do with me. I could care less. You know what I'm saying? But, like, I want to see my family live, like, get what we deserve. And that's the only way by doing that is just putting in the hard work and just cracking niggas' asses. That's the only way it's going to get done. So, if my brother got to be in the way of that sometimes, it is what it is. But we push each other. We push each other as much as we can. Honestly, he probably could say he better than me or whatever the case may be, but he can't fuck with me. There's no way. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he said it.
Right, yeah,
he
like,
said it. I ain't
like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, I'm gonna just say this one. We got footage, like low-key footage, but I dunked on this nigga in the real game. Like, that's why he could never, like, that's why he could never say nothing to me. Like, I dunked on him. So it's nothing he could ever tell me, you feel me? It's nothing. It's
Once
nothing.
again, bro, he said it, Brent. I didn't. I'm
you know
just,
what I'm saying?
just
Like,
the message.
he could vouch for that. He could vouch for that. You know, we had some witnesses. We had some witnesses there. I dunked on him, and that's when I felt like I really took the torch, though.
Okay.
When I dunked on him, bro, I was just like, and that's when I felt like my confidence really went to another level. That was like a moment in my life where I was like, whoa.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I dunked on my big brother. I could dunk on anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just be those moments, bro. Like, little moments like that. It just go a long way. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, that's who started it for me. You know what I mean? Like, that's who really started it for me. I don't give him as much flowers as I should, but, like, I wouldn't be who I am if I didn't, like, follow my brother.
And see
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, that's definitely, he the sensei. You know what I'm saying? I'm just a little remix of what he is. That's it.
Okay.
That's all it is.
I see family is like a very big foundation for you.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Mom Dukes? So, what's one thing I definitely was, as I try to formulate this question, is like, I hear her teachings a lot in the way you talk about her and how she raised you. So, what is probably the one thing from her that stuck in your mind from the day she said it to right now sitting in front of me? Like, what's the one thing you always will go back to in a tough situation, or if it's just a regular situation, you just be like, oh yeah, I gotta remember this saying, or remember how she did it, or remember how she told me to do it. Like, what is that one thing from your mother you will always remember?
It's so many, bro, and I'm not even trying to be funny. It's so many, bro, because my mother's a woman of God, like, bar none. Before she even say hi, praise the Lord or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, the things that always, like, my core values are always put God first. Whatever you do, just put God first. And one that always, like, just stuck with me is dare to be different. Like, everybody going this way, it's okay to go that way. And I think I was one of those friends. I think you could ask my friends, like, whenever they wanted to go do something, I'm the one that I'll be like, I'm chilling. I won't go. I'll go here. I'll go chill with her or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, daring to be different. Those are the two that, like, really rock with me the most. As far as, like, a lot of things that I do. Okay. Just daring to be different. Like, just being different. Just be different. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't got to be like everybody else. You don't got to have the flyest clothes. You don't got to have the jewelry. You don't got to have the money. If you think money is the way. I mean, we all need money to live, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, just that limelight. You just be different. Be different in your own way. Be different. Just dare to be different. And it's the dare for me. Yeah. When you say dare, you know what I'm saying? Like, dare. That's that part.
I feel that.
It's huge.
So, just to stay on the topic as we wind down, when it's all said and done, when this basketball, you can't play basketball no more because either it don't feel right to you or you lost the love of the game. When it all said and done, what's one thing that you want your mother to remember you by when it comes to this sport?
That I want her to know that, like, if I didn't, like, see her, like, work ethic, sacrificing and work ethic, I see my mother do that pretty much my whole life, even still now to this day. Just work, like, the work ethic part, bro. I see my mother work, like, hand-me-down jobs, sometimes have no job. I done seen, we miss holidays, birthdays, just hard work. I really would want my mother to just remember me for, like, the work. Cause my mother, she's in the gym with me. She be in the gym with me sometimes too.
Just sitting?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, sitting, praying, all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really want her to remember me just for my hard work. And that's something that I really want to be remembered for too, though. Like, not so much for, like, scoring 30 and all that, but how hard I really, like, dedicate my time to the game. You know what I mean? And, you know, now things are panning out, but, like, it took a minute. It took a while for this shit to get, you know what I mean? Like, to get where it's at. But, yeah, I really wish, I want my mother to just, you know, have be proud. You know, be proud of like who I am and what I'm doing, what I'm trying to do. And yeah, just be proud of who I am and happy that, you know, her son is just like an extreme hard worker, and I get it from her.
Okay.
100%.
So this is the last question I do with everybody that comes on the show. This is where I give you your 15 seconds, your 3 minutes, your 5 minutes, however long you feel like this is your message. What's your message to young hoopers, young guys like you, or just young people that trying to get their feet wet anywhere?
Yeah.
What's from your life that you've learned right now? Because this is always stamped, as my son Monty's bro would say, it's stamped. This video will never go away. This moment here will never go away. What is that one message you got to whoever it is, whoever, girl, boy, whatever sport, anything?
Yeah.
What's that message to them as they try to find out if this is what they want to do or
Yeah.
any tribulations? This is your time for the camera.
I don't really want to be like cliche about it, because like you always hear these type of things through everybody, like, you know, just keep going and all that, like don't quit. Honestly, like if you have like a vision, or if you're trying to define like your purpose in life, like figure out like who you want to be, figure it out. Like do what you gotta do to like really figure it out. Sacrifice what you're supposed to sacrifice. Only you know what's slowing you down. Sacrifice those things. Be focused, be disciplined, be consistent, and really like just worry about your mental health. I think that's really important. Mental health go a long way. It's gonna be, the journey is not easy, as one of my old trainers would say. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. Just work, put in the work. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna be painful. It's gonna be tiring. Some days you're not gonna feel like doing it, but that's when, you know, you gotta discipline yourself to do it all over again. I would say this, like, do what you love to do. That's number one. Like, always do it. Like, if you love it, that's it right there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Do what you love to do. And it's the discipline part of it is, when you don't feel like doing it, you got to do it like you love doing it. And that's how you get over the hump. That's all I got to say.
Be magic, y'all. Bryce Jones, he blessed the floor. Sway Reporting Live one-on-one sit-downs. I hope y'all enjoyed this one. It was a long one, but I feel like a lot of people needed it.
Yes, sir.
Somebody that has paid the groundwork, done the groundwork for where he at right now. Y'all know him, but there's a reason behind that name. There's weight behind that name. There's hard work behind that name. There's pride behind that name. So I hope y'all enjoyed it. Tune in next time, Sway Reporting Live one-on-one sit-downs. Thank you, brother.
You already, bro.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
You know, I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
We out.
Yo, AD, we gon' fuck this shit up.